I was just thinking about, when people think that they're doing things to either harm you or to get back at you or to say, oh, they're going to show you or whatever the case is. I just heard in my spirit, and not that I just heard in my spirit, and I know this to be the case because there's a scripture that talks about vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And there are also verses that talks about being at peace with God and just resting and just trusting in Him. And so that's what I feel is important to really do. Rather than worry, oh, well, why is this person doing this? Oh, they're mean, they're this, I think there's something to be said about being at peace and being still in that particular moment of thought, not thinking about all the harsh things that this person has actually done to you, but just being at peace with yourself and knowing that within yourself, um, you did nothing wrong, you know, that had nothing to do with you. That person's actions is based on their way of being, it's based on their character, it's based on their true self, it's based on who they are, right? And yeah, just be at peace with you that you are going to continue to be God designed, God created, God inspired, and you just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Because at the end of the day, God is the one that judges the intent and motives of our actions. He's the one that sees behind, beyond, inside, around, above, you know? And so, because he sees that, when someone is trying to do harm to you by their actions, whether it's direct or indirect, by their disrespect, by their canceling you out, right? By their acting as if you never existed or if you don't exist. You know, as some people would say, best and be sure. Or if I'm saying well, actually, let's strike that. That's not the way I speak. But the security that you should have is knowing that God is going to avenge. God is going to take care of the situation. So, yeah, that's the thought that I had. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Welcome. Thank you for joining the stream. I'm actually on my way to Proctor, the New York State regions. I did a little short live earlier. And so I'm actually waiting at the bus stop. I'm taking the bus in today. Normally I work from home, but yeah, thank you for joining me. Yeah. How is your Wednesday going so far? Put in the chat. Put a one if it's going great. If Put a two if it's so so. Let me know. Oh, I forgot the tickets are free. Tickets are free for the bus right now. I forgot. It's a good thing. I mean, it's only like two something. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get your locker. Any way to save, that would be great. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Yes. So earlier I mentioned that I had some concern about ethics and protocols. I know as teachers and things that are tied into our licensure and our certificate, there's certain ethics and protocols we're supposed to follow. And so my question is like, what protocols are administrators supposed to follow? Or do they have to? Or is there a separate rule book that they play by regarding proctoring, regarding being present in the building when students are being tested? That was just my concern. Like maybe because it's a virtual school, um, maybe it's a different rule book. And so my thing is who actually manages or where is the oversight for principals and administrators regarding the expectation for them to follow certain protocols regarding testing and uh testing security and that kinds of stuff. Where's the oversight for that? So that was just the concern and the question that I had. Yeah. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. The thing is, I got up really early and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I'm like, I don't have to go in until I think like noon. So I thought, well, let me start off my day early. Went and had some breakfast. I had my lunch packed because I'm there late this evening. Yeah. I think what I'm also going to do is take some suggestions from you guys. One of my viewers, and they are correct, pointed out, they observe, some people are puritanical and so forth. And they asked the question, why do I say ooh a lot? Why do I say that a lot? And they're right. I said it's a nervous habit, maybe cultural. When I say cultural, not American culture, but from South America. That's the thing I have to be careful about saying cultural because when I say cultural, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, this woman of color, therefore they're all like that." But, no, we're not all like that. And so I like to distinguish because I don't like to be lumped into the culture here in America. I've assimilated into the culture, but that is not the culture I subscribe to. To no fault of my own, I have to subscribe to what I was socialized because it's innate, it's in me. Uh, it doesn't put me in a category where I'm better than this person or less or whatever the case is. It's just who I am. It's just my way of being, and it's just my way of actually doing things. So that is, yeah. Hi. Muhammadi, welcome. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. So I'm actually on my way I'm waiting at the bus stop and I'm on my way to Proctor the Regents. And so I thought I have some time to kind of do a vlog. And so we're just chit chatting. We're just talking about a few things. Just had some coffee, eggs, and home fries. And I actually feel lousy now that I've eaten that. I feel like, ugh, I should not have even eaten that. Yeah. So, yeah, let me know where you guys oh, 2. Why is that? Why at 2? Your day is not going so well. Hopefully something will turn around and you'll begin to have a better day, you know? Just realize that some things are out of your control, some things you have control over, and just focus on the things that you have control over, you know what I'm saying? To kind of help to turn those things around. A 1 if your day is going great so far, and a 2 if it's so-so or if it's not. Yeah, and hopefully you'll have enough to turn your day around or for the day to be turned around. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I see there are 3 people here, but 0 likes. People, come on. It's really what you're doing is doing the algorithm a favor, right? So the more likes, the more comments, the more feedbacks, it feeds the algorithm. And then people, become interested. It spreads it around. It puts it into people's feeds, and they're like, "Oh, who's this lady talking? What? Let's hear what she has to say. Let's hear what she has to say." Yeah, yeah. So that's that. Please like, please like. As soon as I asked people to like, one person left, but that's okay. Yep, I'm at the bus stop. I think I'm early for the bus. Oh, really? Is that a suggestion? What do those numbers mean? What do those numbers mean? Tell me. I don't get excited over money. Yeah. So earlier I was talking about, um, just being authentic and not being afraid or not wavering when someone does you or do you harm, or whether it's intentional or unintentional, right? Um, and, you know, there's the importance of remaining true to yourself, remaining true to God, and not wavering. You know, people try to do things, right? Perhaps for several different reasons. They may not be feeling good about themselves. Um, they're feeling insecure. They're doubtful. They're just plain old icky people. And perhaps you were not necessarily able to see the person's true character. Hi, Sanir Ahmad. Welcome. Please like, share. So perhaps you weren't able to see their true character, or maybe you kind of saw their true character or started to see it or had a hunch, and you kind of were just kind of having some kind of intuition, but you kind of doubted. You're like, oh, you're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And really, the first impressions is what you really should always go with. When you begin to have a hunch about something, you meet somebody for the first time, you've got to follow it because the hunch is there for a reason, you guys. It's that aha, it's that feeling that you have inside you that something isn't right. And you've got to follow that. You've got to follow that. Especially you meet somebody for the first time, and some people, they're just so like bubbly, and they insert themselves into your conversations. You got to watch out for that. When people try to insert themselves into your conversation, when they try to insert themselves into your way of doing things, your way of being. You've got to really watch that. It's a real thing, you guys. It's a serious thing. Yeah, so these are all learn experiences. You're learning life and you're learning how people are and you're adapting and you're adjusting to how people are. Very important, you guys. Very, very important. Super important to follow the hunch that you get within your gut that something isn't right. Because guess what happens, right? If something isn't right from the beginning, you cannot fix it. You cannot make it right. Only that person can make it right, right? Uh, if something isn't right, basically that person is broken, that person is not whole, and you need to stay away from situations like that. You can say hi, you can be polite to people, right? But don't go any further. In fact, you really need to put your guards up and set boundaries up. And you know what I'm learning, it's not a bad thing to set boundaries, right? It's not a bad thing to set boundaries and say, oh no, mm-mm, you know, it's very important. Life is a lesson you're learning and you're growing. You're never too old or never too young to learn, right? Age is just but a number as far as I'm concerned. You know, life continues. There's always levels of development. There's always ways to continue to develop. There's always ways to continue to grow, right? And to progress. Because remember, we are here on earth for a reason. We're not here just for ourselves, but we're here to connect, right? We're here to connect with each other, to help each other uh, grow, to help each other learn, so that we can be in a place to, just reconcile our purpose. That's what we have to do. We're reconciling our purpose and the reason why we're here, right, in this life. Reconcile our purpose and the reason why we're here in this earth. Yeah. Yeah. And just complying and following the plan that, God has for us. So, guys, let's see. Eh, it's not quite. I need to focus on what's going on with the bus stuff. Actually, I have to get my card. My card fell. So, you guys take care. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. And please offer feedback. Please offer comments. Very important to this algorithm. Yeah. So, have a great rest of the day. Take care, guys.